Well, first of all, thank you all for being here, and let me apologize for my voice. For some reason, the last 48 hours, I've had about maybe, if I'm lucky, 6 hours of sleep, and trying to get ready for this wonderful upcoming session that we're looking forward to. All of us are looking forward to. I've been asked by the members of the House and the Senate to do a Democratic response to the state of the state. And let me just tell each and every one of you, I didn't have the governor's speech beforehand to review, to go over things, so I hope you'll bear with me as best you can. Well, let me start out by saying, New Mexico just concluded our centennial year, 100 years of statehood in the United States of America. In fact, today marks the inauguration of our first governor as a state. Then, like now, New Mexicans chose a divided government, though at the time the tables were turned. The new Democratic governor back then faced a Republican-controlled legislature, yet they came together to grow New Mexico far beyond what anyone at the time could have imagined. In the first governor's inaugural address, our first Democratic governor outlined a vision for our new state where fair taxation and quality public education would bring prosperity to its citizens. Coming together, the Republicans and Democrats laid a foundation for a new state, the new state of New Mexico. We are challenged to finish the work they began. For most of the past 100 years, we have succeeded in living up to those challenges. But few of us have been in the mood to celebrate in the past couple of years. New Mexicans are hurting. While our neighbors in states like Nevada and Colorado are getting back to work, our family and friends in New Mexico continue to lose their jobs. In the past year alone, as the governor indicated in her State of the State, we have lost 4,800 jobs in the state of New Mexico. Almost 100 a week lost their jobs, along with the dignity that comes with being able to work. By the time this new legislative session ends, 60 days from today's date, there is a prediction that at least 700 more New Mexicans and their families will have joined the ranks of the unemployed. The legislature's attempt to stimulate our economy and create jobs was frustrated by the governor last year when she vetoed more than 190 local projects and the jobs that come with them from the bipartisan capital outlay bill. And I believe you heard the governor today speak a little bit about infrastructure capital outlay bills. Well, last year, she vetoed 190 projects. But avoiding a veto is really no guarantee that signed legislation will be implemented. This administration has stalled the construction of a much-needed substance abuse treatment for women and children that the legislature appropriated last year, $5 million. Although that project was not vetoed, with the other capital outlay projects, the administration has refused to authorize the sale of the $5 million in bonds for that project. That project was for the substance abuse treatment facility located in Los Lunas, New Mexico. It was for women to have a dormitory to bring their children for inpatient substance abuse treatment, meth, alcohol, and other abuses. We encourage the governor to show her commitment to the serious issues of alcohol and substance abuse by moving this project forward. Punitive measures by locking people in prison is not the answer to the substance abuse problem we have in this state. Locking people up in our corrections institutes is costly. It creates no way of that person being able to fix the problem that they have, be she a woman or a man.
Her actions and inactions have failed to provide the opportunities to address this devastating problem and generate support for the comprehensive middle-class job growth New Mexico needs. A comprehensive approach to putting people back to work must focus on the majority of everyday New Mexicans who have not and will not benefit from corporate tax breaks or corporate tax loopholes. That's why the Democrats in both the House and the Senate are going to be proposing a comprehensive jobs package that raises the statewide minimum wage, expands tax credits for working families, and ensures that it is never cheaper for an out-of-state company to do business in New Mexico than it is for our neighbors who built our main streets and our communities. Any plan to put people back to work cannot begin and end with tax breaks that benefit non-New Mexico companies more than our homegrown mom-and-pop small businesses. In the last session, the legislature passed a bipartisan bill that lowered the corporate tax rate and leveled the playing field for New Mexico small businesses. Under the bill, all the out-of-state corporations would pay the same taxes as their New Mexico competitors. It eliminated the loophole that allowed big box out-of-state companies to avoid paying New Mexico taxes. Sadly, the governor vetoed that bill. That was Senator Worth's bill. But we will not give up. As Democrats, we will continue to try to get the governor's signature so that the local businesses are better able to compete with those national corporations and big businesses that are coming into our state that are getting those tax breaks. But building a more attractive business climate for New Mexico takes more than tax breaks. It takes providing sufficient water to meet the demands of a growing economy. Water has always been a scarce resource in our state. With the most recent lawsuit filed by Texas, we must work together to preserve our agricultural traditions while allowing us to grow into the future. This is not a partisan issue. It should never be a partisan issue. It is a New Mexican issue that affects us all and future generations. In addition to having, and let me just say something there as well, this is really going to be a sleeper issue this year with this water, this drought. This is a very serious issue that needs to be faced. And when Texas filed that lawsuit, if those of you who remember way back when Texas filing a lawsuit, it can have a serious detrimental effect on the growth of our economy. In addition to having adequate resources, CEOs considering to relocate here look at the ability of our schools to teach their children and train future workers. The owners of homegrown businesses expect nothing less. Democrats understand that there is a connection between tax cuts for the rich and low-performing schools for the poor. The choice to expand tax giveaways for the rich comes at the expense of funding our schools and training tomorrow's entrepreneurs. Every student should have the opportunity to succeed in a New Mexico school. But educating our children does not begin on the first day in a classroom. Studies have proven that the first 5 years of a child's life are critical in their development. I was glad to hear the governor talking about that. So we will again sponsor legislation to fully fund pre-K education from the state's permanent school fund so that we don't wait on our children to reach the 3rd grade before we provide them with help. The path to success also includes training and preparing teachers who will instill in our children the knowledge to succeed. New Mexico by 2020, we're going to need 2,400 more teachers. 2,400. But we can't recruit those teachers if we continue to insist they spend more time testing than teaching and then turn around and blame them for all of our problems. As you all know, my wife, Lynn, is a public school teacher. I talk to her every day, every night, about the problems that she faces, that those children face. Let me tell you, and I think you all know it, It's no easy task being a teacher in the state of New Mexico or in other states. It's no fun to clean up after a sick child. It's not easy to counsel the victim that's being bullied at the bus stop or in the classroom. The challenges of our students are as unique as they are, and our teachers need the flexibility and resources to address each and every one properly. Unfortunately, we have cut millions from our classrooms, resulting in fewer teachers, lower salaries, and larger classes, none of which are a part of any formula for success. And I will tell you,